Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 3 of the 31 Days of Horror. D Bougie 86 back up in this. Yes, guys, and the film I got for you guys today is a film from the land of Korea. Yes, a Korean horror film, which kind of has twists on an old tale that we all heard. And that, of course, is titled The Piper. Yes, The Piper from 2015. Uh, Pretty much, this is a Korean retelling of the legendary Pied Piper story. We heard various variations of that story over the course of our lives. This is kind of like a Korean horror style version of that story. Now, pretty much the main plot and setup. You probably know the story of the Pied Piper from now. This one goes a little darker with it. Pretty much it sets up with our main character of the Piper, who's an old Korean war vet who's traveling with his young son to Seoul. His son is actually very sick. I believe he has tuberculosis at the time because you could hear the cough throughout the film. He's coughing heavily throughout it. And on their journey, they end up finding this mysterious village. And yes, this village has no name and it's on no map. And the villagers here pretty much are to themselves from the outside world. And we find out later in the film that the chief of this village is keeping everyone here to kind of set up a new life and get away from what's going on in the outside world of Korea and stuff. And there's actually a scene in the film where the chief finds out that the war is over, and he tells the Piper himself not to tell everyone that the war is over. Pretty much, he wants to keep everyone there. If they know that the war is over, they would probably journey off. It's kind of the way that this village is set up. It kind of reminds me of like M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, but with a more realistic approach to it, pretty much. Now, what ends up happening is this village seems perfect, but it's being ravaged by rats, pretty much. And they tried everything to get these rats out of this village, poison, traps, etc. You know, nothing's working. And the Piper says that he could get the rats out. So he ends up setting up the situation where he's going to get the rats out of the town, and he does. And what ends up happening after that is they end up setting him up and not paying him and driving him out of the village, and something else happens after that which sets into motion where he decides to get his revenge on this village for what they did to him, and he takes the rats and they journey out to seek revenge pretty much on this village, which is very dark in the aspect of that set. Now, my thoughts on the film: very fantastic acted film. The main actor who plays the Piper in the film, this guy here, also he does wear this nose in the movie, but it's not like throughout it. So if you get turned off by the cover, it's not actually like during any like specific like dark scene. Pretty much, it's more of like a joyous tradition. I actually don't know why they actually put the clown nose on him on the cover. It's kind of misleading and also makes it look like kind of goofy in a way. But it's dark. It's dark fable shit. And once we find out what this village, how this village was created, it gets even darker. And the aspect of there might be more revenge than the Piper, pretty much. That's the main thing without giving too much away. Acting's terrific. Great performances. Very emotional in some parts of the film. It goes into like that fantasy-esque scenery, which I do dig. And yeah, then in the end, it's like a giant fucking killer rat movie. You know, well, not big rats, but you know, it's like a war with the rats coming and ravaging the village. Really cool twist on the Pied Piper story. I highly, highly dug this film for what it was. You know, the rats are mostly CGI, but for the most part, it actually looks good because it's mostly when there's a bunch of rats per se in the shots. It's all like during the nighttime scenes and shit, and with smoky atmosphere, so it does blend well with the shit that's happened within the film. Yeah, for a film that's hour and like almost 3/4 long, it's almost 2 hours. It's really really engaging. You know, there's some backstory shit that happens within it that makes you intrigued what's gonna happen at the very climax of the film. Yeah, really cool film. I highly dug the fuck out of this. If I had to rate it, it's getting a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I could see like some other people seeing maybe some of the scenes with more dialogue heavy stuff happening might be slower than it usually is for these type of movies. But overall, highly enjoyable film. Great emotional impact on it, and really cool twist on a story that we all know. So yeah, The Piper from Korea. Check it out. All right, guys, that's it for day 3. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, we'll be back tomorrow with another one for you guys. We'll see you then. Peace out.